Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. And does it count as the first season's new managerial hire? I don't know. But just a few days shy of the new season starting, we have a new manager in, just announced this morning at Reading. His name is Veljko Paunovic. Excuse my pronunciation. I'm sure we'll get some more expert pronunciation than that. But he is in, and he is the new Reading boss. This is what they say on their website. Reading pleased to confirm that Veljko Paunovic has been appointed as first team manager. Dai Young says, vast experience of top flight football, Europe and the US. Proven pedigree of working with young and up-and-coming footballers on the domestic and international scene. This has been a process, and this appointment has been made after long, careful consideration. After meeting him, we found Veljko to be an exceptional candidate who impressed us immediately. I'm sure he's the right man for Reading Football Club. I'm delighted to agree he's signed our new manager. There you go. Little bit about him there. Serbian player in the MLS. They're making 400 appearances to end his career. Took charge of the Serbian under-18s and 19s. Guided Serbia to the final of the under-20 FIFA World Cup in 2015. Beating the USA in the quarterfinals. Defeated Gabriel Jesus' Brazil in extra time in Auckland to win the trophy. He then became head coach of Chicago Fire. Love those names. In November 2015. Managed midfielder Bastian Schweinsteiger. Put that on the honours list. Guided the Fire to the end of season playoffs in 2017. He is now set to begin a new challenge in the Championship. They kind of jumped 3 years there, so I don't know what's gone on in the past 3 years there. So look, Reading's been an absolute hodgepodge, hot seat manager, musical chair type thing. Basically since Brendan Rodgers left there. If you go back to 2013, Nigel Adkins for a year. Steve Clark for a year, Brian McDermott for 6 months, Jaap Stam for nearly 2 years. Remember, playoff finish for Reading, losing on penalties in the final to Huddersfield as those parachute payments drip away. Paul Clement just shy of a year. And then it was Jose Gomez, as we started last season, was the manager. He lasts 10 months. Some feeling that he lost the dressing room and the senior figures. Others just think that it's just a bit of a basket case there, the Reading ownership and management position. And then we got this fun and game. So Mark Bowen had been installed as the sporting director there. And with hindsight, I do think some of the comments towards Mark Bowen when this was announced are a bit unfair. I think at the time there was a sense that Mark Bowen had kind of politicked his way into being the sporting director, and then obviously had a lot of stroke there, and had in some quarters been accused of giving himself the job, essentially. What seems to have transpired now is you can see there his guy there, Nigel Howe, the chief exec, is quoted there. In a relatively short period, Mark has already spent at Reading's commanded respect and admiration, came in at a critical period. So there may be some sense that Bowen was kind of slid into that job sort of as a dead man walking, really, the way he's been treated now. So he came in 14th of October, and Reading end up there finishing in 15th place. If you look at the points, they're a fair way off being a top half side there. Obviously, that doesn't account for Wigan's points deduction, does it? So we can indeed call them 14th place there. But you see the big points gap from 7 points between the top half and where Reading ultimately finished. Bowen did have a really decent run, especially when he first took over. And you can see 3 straight defeats to end the season probably didn't help the final league position, although you're only talking 1 place up. Really, I took a screenshot, and the calculation there is from when Bowen took over. And they are a top half team under Mark Bowen over 35 games. So look, it's not me going, oh, he was manager for 10 games and they should be 6th or something. It's 35 games. It's most of a season with a lockdown in it and 3 months off as well. So I think he did a pretty decent job, Mark Bowen, considering they'd been 20th, was it, the previous season we'd said. Has he been mistreated? I don't know. I couldn't say. Obviously slid into that position. Was it always going to be temporary to the end of the season? We don't know. What is prevalent is that the guy we were quoting when Bowen was hired there, Nigel Howe, stepped away from his CEO role there on August the 24th as part of an ongoing strategic review. Howe will return to his previous position as vice chairman and resume responsibility for the property side of the business, incorporating his role into the completion of development, blah, 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 shifted to the side, basically. And Mr. Dai Young Pang, who has worked with Mr. Dai Young, the owner, for a number of years. I don't know in what capacity. I know Dai Young also owns Beijing, doesn't he? So he's now stepping up to chief executive. So what it appears has happened is they've gone back and forth. They've got rid of Jose Gomez. They've tried Mark Bowen, promoted from sporting director. They've got to the end of the season. They've restructured it. They've taken the CEO out, put a new CEO in. And as is okay, the CEO wants his own guy, who is Vojko Paunovic. So it is what it is. You know, we had a long talk about Charlie Nicholas and Matt Lattis and who was the other one who got fired? Phil Thompson. Sometimes you just restructure and some people are the victims of it. If that's Mark Bowen, then, you know, new chief exec, you can always hide behind that as a reason, can't you? He wanted his own man in. Here's what he inherits from Mark Bowen. So decent goalkeeper. Raphael was good. Decent back three, actually. Michael Morrison's dominant in the air. Liam Moore, you know, you'd say a serviceable championship centre-back. Miazga, maybe potentially better than that. Yidam and Richards on the wing-backs, decent. Renamoto's been decent. Ajari has been excellent, and that's gone through full-time now. I'd really bargain as fee as well. Swift has been excellent. He might be the one that is sold. And then Maite and Puska. So they've got a decent first 11 for sure there. And if you look under Mark Bowen, 12th, can they go higher than that? Who knows? When I do talk to Reading fans, and thank you to Adam who DM'd me a lot about this as it was going through, there is just this worry about the instability at the top of the club, the amount of managers. Is this the change now with Dae Young Peng coming in as the CEO and Paunovic, and now he's stuck with for more than a year? Obviously only Jaap Stam surviving more than a couple of seasons recently. Although I think that was under previous ownership. Possibly, someone will fact check me on that one. That said, look, generally the club turns over managers like no one's business. They don't have parachute payments. They're competing against 7 or 8 teams that do so. It is difficult. But, as I always say, good luck to Vojko Paunovic. And he joins Vladimir Ivic now. We've got a couple of Serbian bosses working in the championship as championship rookies. Now, let me know what you think, first of all, about the whole situation, from Gomez to Nigel Howe or Mark Bowen, hiring Mark Bowen, to the way Mark Bowen's been treated, having essentially been a top half manager for a team that hasn't really been in those positions for maybe three or so seasons. Now, to Nigel Howe going out, to Dae Young Peng coming in, and Bowen being replaced by Paunovic. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you think he's going to do. What's the expectation for Reading? Is it around that 12th that Mark Bowen was in? Is it more the 14th and the bottom half that they actually did finish in? Can they go higher? Are they going up? Are they going down? Let me know what you think. Get your thoughts in the comments. As always, I don't support Reading, but I come from a position of respect. So if you feel you know more than me about this, that's fine. You possibly do. So feel free to get in the comments, but use your knowledge as a position to educate rather than shout and scream like we get online. God, it's been a hard few days, let's just say. You can support the channel here on YouTube. Get in the comments, get the debate going. That's the great thing about this platform. Everyone can give their view. Just try not to be hateful, please. Hit the thumbs up button, that helps. And please subscribe to the channel. We're doing great over here. You can join our fantasy league there, T5QBR0 is the code. You can support me on Patreon just for $3 a month. That's basically a donation to help me go towards my goal of doing this part-time or full-time for a living. But for $5 per month, you can get my Patreon-only Q&As and vlogs, a little bit of extra content there. Help me out. I'm a fellow football lover. I'd love to do this full-time. All of these videos are available as podcasts. Just type in the Benjamin Bloom Football Show. If you want to listen in the car or in the gym or don't want to look at my face, then absolutely fine. Go and subscribe that way. And we're working on building up a sponsorship program now. So if you run a small business, you can support the channel. Benjamin Bloom Music, 2Ms at gmail.com. We will also be making Patreon tiers where, you know, for not the money that a business would spend, but you can sponsor an individual show as part of the Patreon to try and get me over my jobless COVID situation here. Anyway, it's not about me. It's about Veljko Paunovic. I'm sure I'll work on that pronunciation as we go. Being hired the new Reading manager. Get your thoughts in, and I will see you on the next video. Over and out.